What did Jenna Marbles and Julian have to say about making the best Thanksgiving meal? And what does that have to do with using natural solutions like herbs and essential oils for flavoring, as well as health benefits on top of digestive enzymes to help break things down a little bit? Well, I'm going to cover that in today's video, so make sure to watch this video all the way until the end because I give some tips on my end as well and some more perspective, and get to see the awesome and delicious food that they made, which is so encouraging to see out there, and spreading the word about how you can still have health as well as flavor all up in there. Let's get into today's video.
Alright, so here's the truth. The fatigue of just being alive is really starting to set in. Every Wednesday before Thanksgiving, I post a video I have for years, and then I wake up on Thursday and cook all day for Thanksgiving, which is honestly stupid. What am I doing, you know? We have dietary restrictions. We're both vegan, Julian's celiac, can't eat gluten, so it's a lot to expect anyone to ever cook anything for.
That is true. I'm vegan myself. I've been vegan for 4 years now, going on my 5th year, and I will say that it is definitely a challenge with regards to having other people understand that, and especially a challenge during holidays or events. A lot of times, either people have a ridicule aspect, oh, you're eating cardboard and grasslands, like they did at my previous employer, or people just don't understand it and they just choose not to do that. There are a number of reasons why I have done it, health reasons, for animal safety as well as the environment. But those reasons aside, I think it's cool to see different options that are going to be explored here to show that you can have healthy, delicious, plant-based options that are either good for you or are more savory and tasty. And sometimes they have an element of both, which is a double bonus.
For us, so usually we're the ones bringing our own food to wherever we're going or eating it here, whatever. We basically stress cook every Thanksgiving on the day. And I'm like, you know what? Not this year. I'm not doing it. I'm not.
That's right. I don't do that either. I just kind of I'm thankful. I wake up, I'm thankful, I'm grateful, pray, eat, enjoy the food I have with the company that I have, and that's it. You know what I mean? So just keep it chill, simple, stress-free. That's the way to be. Or, reduce stress. Stress is gonna happen. You just gotta manage it better. So let me clarify.
Because I'm fatigued from being alive from my 32nd year. It's a lot.
Ladies, being alive, am I right?
So I know that Julian has posted many vlogs of us cooking for Thanksgiving on his channel in the past, but I literally just want to cook today, and I want to feel like a normal person and relax and have a good time and just sort of show you guys what we're making for Thanksgiving, because I genuinely appreciate that you guys treat me like a person and that I'm just want to make Thanksgiving dinner. And if you're not American and you don't care, just watch us cook something. Yeah, I think it'd be really nice to not wake up at the crack of dawn tomorrow and stress cook just because then you don't even enjoy Thanksgiving. You're just exhausted.
And you're just sweating in the kitchen.
Sweating all day. I will warn you ahead of time. We're not making any vegetables.
Warning.
We're not making any vegetables because I'm pretty sure any vegan can throw down some dank green beans, but I did not save all my calories so I could eat some green beans on Thanksgiving. Forget about it. We eat healthy all the time. It's about carbs, okay? We're cooking only the necessary stuff, which is carbs and carbs and carbs and carbs and more carbs. Carbs giving. So
you just made the food pyramid.
I did.
I would say that carbs are important for energy, and it's nice when they have more nutrients and they're from whole food sources. But sometimes it's nice to indulge a little bit and have a a less healthy meal. And again, this is kind of expanding your mind. If you're not vegan, this is letting you know about some great plant-based options that still taste great. If you are vegan, then great. You kind of just, again, you can see some recipes that are done and see another YouTube channel that offers that, because I think a lot of this is just about gaining perspective. And so many people think that cardboard and grass is the only thing that you eat if you're a vegan, but most people don't realize that most of what they eat is actually vegan. The standard American diet is roughly about 20% animal protein, and a lot of it actually is processed foods, which is a combination of plant and meat or animal protein, but it's very processed. So anyways, a very small percent is actually plant-based in the diet, and around 12%. So if we can reverse that and have about 95% plant-based as well as 5% or less of animal protein, then you dramatically reduce your risk of heart disease, cancer, and autoimmune disease, according to the China study. So there are health benefits as well, and besides like enjoying your meals. So here we go. Oh, and it's very affordable as well. Let's continue.
I know. So I think we're gonna start with dessert. We're making a beautiful apple crisp because we have made vegan gluten-free pies in the past, and honestly it's so much work for such a mediocre product, it's not even worth it. So just skip to the apple crisp and give me something good that's way easier times a million, right?
Why are you taking the stickers off?
We're not gonna eat the
But
stickers.
it's good. I like it.
It's so nasty. Okay,
You don't have to log your food if you
Prove it.
eat the barcode.
prove it. Oh. Spit it out. I see them in your tongue. All right, so we're gonna be cooking 2 pounds of Granny Smith apples.
We have to like peel them, right?
Yeah, we have to peel all of them and cut all of them. But
Why are
I'm
you giving me
gonna.
all the stickers?
I love you so much, but it's not about you. To save you all the
Aw.
boredom of watching us cutting and peeling apples, which is riveting, I'm just gonna go ahead and do that right now. Be right back. Trying to make an assembly line. I'd say the only thing worse than peeling apples is peeling all those potatoes. I remember last year I was like, I'm never peeling another potato again.
We made last time.
Well, because we made them for like 10 people. We cut our apples. We're just gonna make the topping really quick. So for my celiac friends, we got some gluten-free flour. How much is that?
It's 1.5 cups times 1.5.
Okay,
You can do the math.
go ahead and put that in here. And then, cause we're
Okay, sometimes you gotta smack it up in there. Okay, I feel it.
making extra topping, right? Because I think we used some extra apples. Since we're like 1.5ing the recipe, which I'll link in the description, 1 cup of rolled oats, and then 3/4 of a cup of each sugar and light brown sugar. Earth balance.
So when it comes to sugar, the ones that I like to use are organic coconut sugar if you want more of the granulated option, or grade B maple syrup, which is really good, or another option is agave, organic agave. So those are some things to keep in mind. What I like to use, it just kind of depends on what texture is needed for a recipe, but she's going to give a good option for butter, but there's also other options too. Ideally you want to look for like a non-GMO label and organic as well as plant-based, but let's see what she says.
Started making like nice little things like this, so you don't have to jam your spoon into that container over and over again, which is what I usually do. All my other grown ladies out there, when you're tired and you just want to enjoy your food, but like you got so much cooking and working to do and you're tired, listen, I'm not complaining, okay? I know you guys all have jobs and lives, and it's hard sometimes to just cook things because you just want it to be cooked so you can eat it. It says mash, so if I hate it, I'll do it my way. Oh no, it's going everywhere. I'm making a Thanksgiving mess.
In a situation like this, I think
Sometimes you just gotta be willing to get dirty, you know what I'm saying?
bigger hands are better.
Yeah, but careful hands are also really good. Get out! Julian!
We can do it. We can make it if you let me do everything.
Big and careful hands are sometimes helpful.
Oh god. We gotta bring the
No.
sugar up from the bottom.
Yeah, I love spending time with family.
Hold on, let me just get full.
If you have like a cake mixer bowl, that's also really helpful, or a really big bowl. I know that's helpful whenever I'm trying to do things like that require more like kneading, I guess, of your fingers and stuff. So yeah, a couple options.
Control first. Let me get full control.
No, I want full control. This is the good stuff. I don't have a lot of experience making pies. I literally make a pie once a year for Thanksgiving. And to make a gluten-free and vegan pie crust, unless you're making like a cheesecake where it's like nuts and, you know, dates or whatever, that's super easy. But like, you know, a doughy pastry pie crust is like kind of hard and takes a little practice, and I usually end up burning it a little bit.
Or it just crumbles everywhere.
And it's just like sort of on the apples anyways.
That's true. Like, I mean, when you think about it, when you eat that type of thing, like an apple crisp or what they're making, it's gonna end up looking in whatever way in your stomach anyway. So I think, you know, we eat with our eyes first and then with our mouth, but you know, pies are cool. They look very appetizing. Crisps still look, you know, like apple crisps look good too, but I think, you know, just keeping in mind, like, it doesn't have to look like a pie in order to get by. Okay, yeah, there we go.
I feel like apple crisp is just like the best of both worlds, and is so much easier, and it's like messy already, so you can reheat it in just like a gloopy pile instead of trying to worry about getting perfect little pie slices, which is a pipe dream. All right, so our topping is done. We're going to cover the apples in, I think this recipe calls for orange juice, which is why I picked this one. Do you want to get the apples ready?
Yeah. Get ready! Get ready!
Whoa, I think they're ready now. I mean, I'm ready.
So we need half a cup of orange juice.
Sugar. Brown sugar, the dark brown sugar, regular brown sugar, and sugar.
I already put everything in the mixture.
You did? So a tablespoon and a half of cinnamon. This is a trick that I learned from Food Wishes forever ago. He says if you can, you should always grate your own fresh nutmeg because it actually makes a big difference. Doesn't that smell good?
Yeah, it smells amazing. Love me some fresh nutmeg.
It's a teaspoon and a half. We didn't slice them like super duper thin, but I feel like that's thin enough. Right? Like, what am I gonna do? Spend 7 hours slicing apples super thin? Like, who cares? It's gonna go in your mouth.
That's a bite size for me. That's like one bite.
Do you want to taste one and see if you
I mean, I'd like to taste one. Those look pretty good. I mean, what about you?
like the
Yeah.
seasoning on it?
That's good.
Need more cinnamon, nutmeg?
I think it's perfect.
That's kind of a good technique, even if you, just for fruit in general, like sprinkling cinnamon on them and stuff like that. Like apples are really good. And I do like almond butter, like organic almond butter from Costco, and then like some cinnamon on top of it. It's a quick and easy snack. You can also put that same almond butter on celery and put some like organic raisins. But the apples are nice because they already have the sweetness, and then you get like the healthy fats from the almond butter, and boom. But yeah, that's I always like to eat what I'm making too along the way. Just as long as I don't eat all of it, right?
So yummy.
Ooh, that is a lot of nutmeg I put in there.
Told you to stop.
I have too much gene. Easy peasy, so
Did she say she has a too much gene? I'm gonna have to use that one.
much easier than a pie. Am I right, ladies?
Yes.
You can bring some
And gentlemen, yes.
of this to your mom, or not, because maybe it has too much nutmeg and I ruined it, and now then I just panic about everything for no reason. I'm gonna put the topping on. This recipe by itself was a double crisp apple crisp, so I'm pretty excited.
So there's plenty of leftovers that's gonna happen. That's right. That's one way to do it. So you have enough for at least 2 or 3 days. I like to do that.
It's the best part. It's so
He's like filling it up and all. Okay.
nice, like, to know that tomorrow on Thanksgiving you don't have to wake up and make a dessert. This is so much topping. Wait, I think this is too much. I think we made too much.
No, it's okay. It'll be like a giant on top of everything.
Okay, so it's an upside down pie. I don't know why we're packing
It's
it
an
down.
upside down-
Like, it's supposed to be like crumbly.
It's an upside down pie. That's
That's the best when you're able to improv and it still turns out good. Amazing.
what we made. Are pies upside down? Question mark.
Yes, they are now.
Okay, so you want to know a secret that I learned years ago for making really good apple crisp? Take some butter and just like put slices out on top. Ooh, okay.
And that's the earthbound butter as well. But yeah, I mean, there's lots of different butter options. Another good option is using organic and raw coconut oil. That is going to have an amazing flavor. And that's the earth balance butter too. So that's the plant-based one. So that's interesting. See, it has a very similar texture, and I've had butters like that before too, and they taste very similar. So, and then when you bake stuff, oh my goodness, it's good.
I mean, that's probably pretty good.
So we're done with Thanksgiving, right?
No.
So how long does it bake for?
30 to 40 minutes.
So 20 minutes. You leave it in the oven. Take it. Why does butter and sugar taste good? That's weird.
Why didn't you just like...
It's like the perfect combination for your taste buds. It's like fats and sugars. It's like super addictive.
lick the counter?
Whoa. Hey.
Can't wait to eat that tonight before I eat any food. What's next?
We need to clean up everything from dessert.
Okay, I'll put all the sugar
I'm
away.
not gonna be able to function. I wanted to wipe the counter down, and I was like, let me wipe it down. He goes, why? And picks it up and just put it all over this mess.
You
That's
cover the
not-
mess with a new cutting
not
board.
a solution to your problem. All right, so I'm peeling
Can I flip
potatoes. While Julian starts prepping the stuffing, why don't you show them what you're making?
So
Because it's
So far we got an apple crisp, we're gonna get some mashed potatoes, we got some stuffing, and then they got some like chicken type of fingers, but they're vegan, so lots of great items for their Thanksgiving meal here. So yeah, it's cool.
pretty unique. I don't know anybody that makes stuffing that way. You wild.
I'm making.
Julian's special stuffing.
Well, I just kind of like do a little bit traditional, but then I kind of add whatever I want. So we're doing onions, celery, and like bread that I'm chopping up into cubes.
It's not bread though, they're bagels.
Well, yeah, so they're little bagel thins. These are what I like to use for stuffing because it has like the everything bagel seasoning and it's just easy to cut and prepare. And then I'm adding some Beyond sausage because this is just the best thing.
Beyond Meat burgers are really good too, so check that out. And I know Whole Foods has them, and then it's just kind of maybe hit or miss with some other places. But yeah, the Beyond Meat or the Impossible Burgers, those are really good alternatives. They have the flavor of meat, but way more nutritional value, and they're all plant-based, and so they have good sources of protein and fiber and all that good stuff. There you go.
In the entire world, so.
We've never done it with that though, I'm excited. Well, and also we have
Bacon bits.
which are vegan because they're made out of soy. It doesn't make them good for you, but it does make them tasty.
So that's an important distinction. Like, there's different degrees. Like, there's junk food vegans, right? There's like super raw vegans, and everyone in between. So like, I think it's important to focus on whole foods and try to eat as many organic raw foods in their natural state that are non-GMO. But like for my case, like I'm 100% vegan with regards to diet wise. But I will also, I'm probably about like 60% cooked food and then like 40% raw vegan food. But the raw comes in from mostly from my green smoothies or if I eat salads and stuff. But otherwise, I'm doing a lot of sauté dishes, baked dishes, as well as I use an air fryer for like vegetables and stuff. And I do, instead of white rice, I use quinoa and millet, and as well as lentils. So I soak them and then I cook them like brown rice. So that's a really good source of protein and fiber and an excellent white rice replacement. And has a very similar texture too if you cook it right. So that's the key.
I'll just be over here peeling potatoes until I just want to cry.
It's beginning to look a lot like a lot of work.
Remember when you were a kid and you just like showed up and all the food was just like made for you?
Yeah,
There was
and
a
I
whole
would-
bunch of like, get out of the kitchen, there's too many people in here, and you were like, all right, so sorry.
Well, to be fair, that was your childhood, not mine. I was
Oh.
in the kitchen.
Yeah, I mean, I helped out a lot with my Thanksgiving meals too with my mom, so I can relate more to that. But yeah, there were times too when they got it covered, you know, everybody's cooking and I needed to get out. So yeah, it just kind of depends how much help is needed and how much you wanted to help. But yeah, that's cool.
So I have started the stuffing officially.
Julian is adamant that he's not going to use a recipe. He's just going to make one up.
I thought that you had to toast these, but I forgot that we're not making croutons, we're making stuffing.
I'm
So
trusting you.
you're gonna have the best stuffing you've ever had. I'm telling you. So right now I have the sausage on the pan. After that I added some onion and celery that I chopped. And so once that's done, I'm gonna put that in a bowl with all of this bread, not a bowl, that big pan with all of this bread, and then add some butter and stock and seasoning. And then that's how
I
we're
don't
gonna
even
do
know
it.
if that's
That's sounding really good so far. I'm like hungry.
how you make stuffing.
Well, that's how I'm gonna make it. So
That's right. And we have to remember it's not always about trying to follow tradition, because if you follow a recipe, which is what I do recommend, but unless you've made it enough times or made similar dishes enough where you can kind of go improv it, but as long as the ingredients match up and you know it tastes good, and I would add is healthier than the alternatives. I try to focus on more healthy, so like gluten-free is what they've chosen, but if I could choose also maybe like a higher fiber or higher protein type of like base, that would also be good. They do have some options out there, but otherwise I think their overall meal and ingredient selection is really great, and I think it's a great starting point for anyone who's looking and who's really open to more of a plant-based lifestyle. You don't have to go vegan, but if you do, that's great. But I think for folks to know that there is alternatives out there.
So the link will not be in the description of this recipe.
the link will be in my mind.
There is no link.
So this is the pan we're making stuffing in. So I'm going to get this butter ready. So what you're gonna want to do is you take a pint glass.
Oh, Julian, that's gross.
I got this much butter. That should be enough, right? So this is the sausage, onion, and celery mixture. I'm adding it to all the bread.
Oh.
I'm gonna add some rosemary, thyme, and salt.
Okay.
I bet that smells amazing. And when it comes to essential oils, because you can use those in place of the herbs, the essential oils for like rosemary and thyme are going to be 50 to 70 times more powerful than the actual herbs. You want to make sure you use a brand that's CPTG certified. I do talk about that on my channel a lot as well, because then it's approved for internal use, and you can tell because of the supplement facts that are on it. But there is ratios of basically herbs to essential oils, and it's not the oils that you buy at your, Whole Foods, Sprouts, Trader Joe's, or Walmart. And so that's going to be important to keep in mind as well, and or Amazon, because you want to make sure you get the right support and education with regards to how to make foods. I use these the essential oils a lot in my meals, and that's really an important base because, again, I'm getting health benefits as well as flavor, and then because I understand the benefits and uses, I can use them properly.
I'm gonna mix it around. So we're just gonna do like about a cup, I think.
You're really out here just doing whatever.
Sometimes I put stock in my Hydro Flask when I go work out so that I'm getting salt and flavor during my
So
workout.
disgusting.
And also hydration.
It's a savory Gatorade.
Savorade. Then I'm gonna put the butter. Or is it orange juice?
Julian,
butter.
so nasty.
So you're gonna bake this at however many minutes you want, at however many degrees you want, whatever oven you want, or you don't have to bake it at all.
And last but not least,
I think you would still have to bake it so that everything, is warmed up and cooked nicely. But yeah, I mean, because he's already pre-cooked a lot of stuff, because the bagel's already been, baked, and you're just toasting them, and then the other like Beyond Meat sausages, which looked really good with the celery and onions, that's already cooked too. So, but no, that's a great stuffing idea, and that's very interesting.
this is our protein of choice for Thanksgiving. I'd say that Julian has pretty much perfected this over the years.
Nice.
A lot of you might be like, oh, it's sort of like it's vegan chicken. But if you add like enough like rosemary and sage and thyme and stuff in there, it really starts to taste like turkey seasoning. So we're gonna do a bunch of the flour tonight and then just make a little bit of chicken tonight so we can show you and eat some probably.
Yeah.
But tomorrow morning, that'll probably be the only thing that we make is like another little batch
So
of
it's, like,
chicken.
fresh.
Yeah, Julian really wants it to be like fresh tomorrow for Thanksgiving. So
All right. So it calls for 2 cups of flour, but I'm gonna triple that. So we have like an assembly line going where Jenna.
So that's that gluten-free flour as well, and they're gonna have the ingredients as well as the recipe for at least a couple of their items on their actual YouTube video. So if you click that in my link in the description below, you can kind of check out the details if you're looking for more specific measurements.
Gets the spice ready, and I just toss it in here. But it's about half a teaspoon per spice, roughly.
well, you're making a lot of.
We're making a lot, so we're like tripling / quadrupling.
But I'll read it what it is. It's flour, nutritional yeast, black pepper, salt, sugar, paprika, rosemary, ginger, sage.
Some really good hints with regards to salt is you want to use a pink Himalayan salt or a sea salt because they have trace minerals in them. The iodized salt is what you want to avoid because it's overly processed and it's just not good for your body. So definitely want to choose, again, pink Himalayan salt or sea salt because of the trace minerals and the lack of overly processing that they go through.
Savory, thyme, sage, dill, marjoram, onion powder, coriander, cayenne pepper, red pepper flakes. Oh!
So a lot of those herbs do have essential oil alternatives that will again have the health benefits as well as the flavor, and the ratios are what I have a reference guide on that I give to my clients, and so they can kind of know what ratios to do for all that, whether it be for desserts or for cooking recipes. And so that's also going to be important, and I use them again in my recipes for my soups, and I use them, but you don't want to just use again any store-bought brand or just go on Amazon. You want to make sure you understand the benefits and uses, and my channel talks a lot about that, or you can just leave a comment and I can help you out and give you some more information.
Oh my god. It says a pinch of cayenne pepper, but
We like to make that shit hot. If you want some spicy fried chicken, go a little ham on the cayenne.
it's like a flour because you dredge them and then flour them, so it always ends up tasting like way less
Toned down,
spice
yeah.
than you want it to be.
Yeah.
Plus, who's ever mad at spicy like fried chicken? Not me.
All right, so our mixture looks like a whole mix of stuff, which it is, yeah. And so now,
Salted?
That looks amazing. That's gonna make, those are a lot of great ingredients, so I can tell it's gonna taste good. And the fact that they've already said, hey, we've made it before in the past, and it's just kind of, building on greatness, that's also amazing. So it shows what's possible. The only thing that's missing from this is a smell and taste test for the audience.
And sugar?
I didn't put salt in. So now we're gonna start mixing it around to make like the full-on seasoned flour mixture.
2 teaspoons of salt.
Okay.
Alright, I'm gonna be here for a minute.
To get the chicken ready to be breaded, you put it in a buttermilk mixture, and that's gonna come with some egg replacer, some almond milk, some apple cider vinegar. You're just gonna let the chicken sit in it. So right now I'm gonna.
So they're using the word chicken, but it's actually a tofu base. So just kind of keep that in mind. And the egg replacer, I haven't seen the ingredients, but a lot of times it'll be like a flax or it'll be some type of like gelatinous type of seed, like chia seeds, or it could be other stuff too. There's lots of other, alternatives that can help basically add some body to the actual food that's being made with.
I make that
I feel like curdles, like regular
mixture.
buttermilk.
Yeah, somewhere.
The only thing that I really care about at Thanksgiving is something that I don't even have to make, because it comes in a can, and it's called cranberry sauce. My favorite part, it's in the fridge right now, and I can't wait to eat her.
One thing you want to keep in mind with canned goods is trying to make sure that it says BPA free. BPA stands for bisphenol A, and it's an endocrine or hormone disruptor. So you want to try your best to avoid cans because of the lining of the BPA that they use in there, and look for BPA free can linings. It's sometimes hard. You have to like search for the non-GMO organic canned goods, but if it has that BPA free label, then you're basically minimizing or eliminating your risk of having hormone disruption, which is important for men and women.
And the most delicious part of Thanksgiving is the apple cider vinegar.
Said no one ever. Actually, give me a shot of that. I won't drink it.
They're disgusting.
I actually put it in my waters with the lemon oil that I use, and it's great. So yeah, doTERRA is the brand that I use for the essential oils, and they're awesome. So it's 1 drop of essential oil per 4 ounces of water, and I use reverse osmosis distilled or alkaline water as my choice there.
Okay, so my potatoes are finished. I'm gonna have to restart them. To make vegan mashed potatoes is super easy. Just almond milk and vegan butter. So I'm just gonna do that and mash them. Potatoes.
See, that's such a simple recipe, right? You just potatoes, you got the vegan butter, salt, pepper, and some almond milk for the creaminess, and boom, you have a healthy option. Yes, that does have carbs, but carbs are energy. And what I would also add is, since there's a lot of cooked foods, a digestive enzyme is going to be important. And I have a brand that I use as well that I talk about on my channel, but it's so important to have that because that taxes our basically stomach lining, small intestines, liver, pancreas a lot less because they don't have to produce the enzymes. So your ability to produce enzymes diminishes as you age to the point where you basically produce next to nothing. So getting as much support as you can while you eat cooked foods is very, very important.
They're good. The stuffing came out pretty good. It looks like stuffing at least.
It tastes really good.
So then all we have to...
It looks really good. All their food looks amazing. So yeah, oof. It's a good Thanksgiving over there. Well, I'm ready to see the final plate, and go from there.
What to do left is fry the chicken. I'm gonna use the wet hand, dry hand method so I can fry properly. But that's it, and then we're gonna have like a little mini Thanksgiving tonight.
Well, for those of you also wondering why we don't make any gravy, I have in years past made like a nice mushroom gravy, but like I literally like forgot about
Gravy can be a little tricky, but yeah, follow a recipe is all I can say. And there's going to be a lot of like juices left over from some of this stuff, and I think sometimes that's a good thing to do. I use personally like, again, a recipe, but yeah, I think that would probably be the other thing that would make this kind of whole meal complete. But without it, I'm sure everything tastes great.
it on the counter.
So another option to deep frying it is an air fryer. They are available at Costco. And I'll also have a link in the description below so you can check out that. But basically an air fryer uses air, and as long as the particular mixture has oil in it already. So instead of dropping it in oil, I would have made the batter or the mixture with those same ingredients, but would have lined the actual food or the actual tofu with like an olive oil, and then I would have put it into the air fryer. So air fryer just uses like heat. It's kind of like an oven meets a fryer, but it's like more contained in a small space, similar to the one that you see in front of you. And so that is a great alternative to deep frying, but still has a lot of the same crunchy, flavor, texture benefits.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving. We'll have a mini Thanksgiving right now, and then we'll have a good one tomorrow.
Yeah, mini Thanksgiving now and real one tomorrow.
Whoa!
I think the nice part about this is that we
I know, my heart about skipped a beat. I was like, ooh, don't drop it.
tasted the flour dredge, and it could totally like use more seasoning.
Yeah.
So tomorrow we can just add more spices.
Go
to it.
crazy on that fried chicken seasoning. It is way, way, way less than you think it is. We just finished everything. Apple crisp.
That's an important to note because that's very important to note because sometimes a little improv is necessary in taste testing. I've always kind of learned growing up because my mom was a chef at the Hyatt Regency that you can typically put too little of something, but once you put too much, it's kind of too late. So you want to make sure, especially like salt and stuff. So yeah, it's okay to put too little of something because you can add a little bit more to your taste.
Potatoes, stuffing, and fried chicken.
No bullshit. Just things that you want to eat. And
All
this
things
is
you want to eat. And Jenna's
the
cranberry.
only thing that I care about.
I don't get that.
Whole cranberry sauce. Oh.
That looks like that's from potentially Whole Foods and maybe organic as well. So maybe the BPA free lining might be up in there. So kudos to them if they did. If not, hey, it's okay. The meal looks great and it's healthy. Again, there's degrees of awesome, good, better, best, bad, worse, and the worst ways to kind of make food. And I think theirs is great, honestly. And it's cool to see.
Honestly, Whole Foods kind of played me because this is like not really whole berry. It's sort of just like the jelly kind, but it's so good.
Are you eating that by itself?
Yeah, you're not gonna eat any. It's all from me. What are you making, dog?
Some sriracha mayo.
Did you put maple syrup in it or just?
Yeah.
Oh,
Want
so
some?
it's like no.
The face was like, not for me. No. I love. There's actually an organic sriracha that I've seen at Sprouts, so I'm thinking about getting that. But otherwise, I use like Frank's Red hot sauce, or I'll just use straight up cayenne pepper and mix that into the actual food, so it already has the spice and the flavor built in. And I sweat while I eat hot food. I love spicy food. Some people don't. I do, and that's how I know it's good. It's clearing up the sinuses and everything else.
That's like what you put on chicken and waffles. I'm hungry. And there you have it. A nice vegan gluten-free Thanksgiving meal with absolutely no vegetables because today's not the day. Every other day is the day for that. But today,
So vegetables meaning maybe green beans, but yeah, there's the potatoes there. You have, some. That's pretty much the main vegetable, I guess. They're made from plant-based ingredients, so it's going to be like, I guess, vegetables or fruits in some cases. But yeah, I mean, with that much cooked foods, I would take a digestive enzyme. I use the one from doTERRA. It has 10 different digestive enzymes in it, but that meal has a lot. So I would probably take 3 of those capsules because that is a fully cooked meal, maybe even 4. And the ideal time to take it is 30 minutes before you eat, so that your stomach is lined with digestive enzymes, and then when the cooked food falls upon it, when it hits your stomach, it's able to be broken down properly from fats, sugars, carbs, proteins better.
I like pepper on my mashed potatoes. The sausage and the stuffing is insane.
It's good, right?
That shouldn't be allowed. Oh my. It's not rude to eat with your hands if you made it and it's in your house.
That's a fact.
That is so good.
It was really good.
And we don't have to cook tomorrow. We get to roll out of bed, be in our pajamas, do whatever we want, and eat our food. For the first time ever, I don't have to stress cook.
I was saying, I've literally never cooked on a Wednesday to where Thursday was just like, you don't have to do anything.
Have a good time. Well,
It's always like wake up and cook.
Yeah, we're gonna cook a little bit, but we don't have to like wake up super early and get everything done by 12 so we can go somewhere,
And honestly, a cool part is that we got to share like what we actually did for Thanksgiving with you guys in time for Thanksgiving, not like after the fact.
Yeah. And I know a lot of you guys are like curious about what we eat. Same thing as you do, just a version that I like. Plus, like, this is.
Yeah, that's kind of a way to think of it. It's like, yeah, I mean, all these options that they're presenting in from you are just different options. And a lot of times people don't know what's available because they haven't had somebody show them or they haven't tasted it themselves. And I know for me, like my business partner, Malie, she introduced me to a lot of the plant-based options that I eat now today, and I would never go back because they taste great, they're healthy, and they're affordable. So, and then food is medicine. So when you combine food as medicine with healthy and delicious options, and then the proper education element, so there's lots of Netflix documentaries too. A few that I recommend just offhand: Forks Over Knives, What the Health, Cowspiracy, Food Inc., and Food Matters. So some of those may or may not be available as time goes on because Netflix rotates movies in and out and documentaries in and out. But if you can find those, look those up. I actually will have some links in the description so you can at least check out the trailers of those. But make sure to watch those because then you get more insight. And whether you go a little bit more plant-based or 100% plant-based, at least you know that you can help yourself reduce your disease risk by eating a more plant-based lifestyle, as well as help the animals out, as well as help the environment. And for folks who are thinking about that too, it's not just for yourself, it's for your kids or your grandkids and the world that they live in to make sure it's a more sustainable world.
It's a lot of work and effort and like years of trial and error. I would never expect someone to like cook this for us, so that's why we always cook and bring it wherever we're like.
Exactly.
Don't worry about us. We'll BYOF. We're gonna have some coconut
Bliss.
Oh man, whew, they really went all out on this one. They got the coconut bliss ice cream. Oh my goodness, that stuff is amazing. Oh gosh, like seriously, once you try this food, like you're gonna. Most people like, cause I make food for folks. They're like, oh, I didn't even know it was vegan, or they'll just be like, this is so good. I wish you would cook for me more often or something. I'm like, I wish you would pay me. You know what I'm saying? But no, it's cool. I like doing it. It's a labor of love. But this is awesome. I love how they're just introducing so many awesome items to everyday food life. Makes life a little bit better, you know, knowing that they're and there are so many more options in the grocery store too. It could be paralysis by analysis, or it could be a blessing in disguise because you have this information or you have the ability to research it more.
That's what the crisp is looking like.
Apple crisp me mummy. How is it?
It's so good.
Is it good?
It's hot. Be careful.
No.
Julian, it's steaming. It's so good. All the best parts of a pie without having...
any of the stress of the crust.
Yeah, but it's like crunchy and tasty and like all the stuff that you like about an apple pie.
That looks amazingly good. Like, oh my goodness.
A little heavy on the nutmeg. I love how that recipe seems so ridiculous with the crisp, but like every time I've ever made apple crisp, I'm like, I wish I had double this crispy stuff on top. That's what makes it so naughty and not good for you. Give it to me. Wow. Oh, hot.
You always preach to me not to eat before it's cool enough.
I have a sensitive mouth. Well, there you go. That's like what we make for Thanksgiving. My mouth.
That was an amazing meal for Thanksgiving. Like, if I mean, I'm over here getting hungry and I already ate, so.
Thank you so much for watching. As you can see, I don't know about you, but that was a lot of like food video teasing, because I was, like I said, I already ate, but I was still kind of hungry after all that. And I love seeing what's possible. You can still have healthy food that tastes delicious and is affordable. Boom, that's like the trifecta right there. Yes, and it is possible. I do it every day, and what I eat as well. I've been, like I said, vegan for 4 going on 5 years now, and it's amazing. I get to support my health, support, you know, animal welfare, as well as help the environment at the same time. And for me, that's the other trifecta as well. Other folks to choose to go all plant-based or mostly plant-based or whatever plant-based, it's important to just know that food is medicine and that you are what you eat, and so your body will become that over time. And you can reduce your risk of diseases and improve your quality of life based on the quality of foods that you choose, ideally whole plant foods, or you can not and choose to do whatever you want to do. And either way, I'm here to educate people on all their options. Make sure to hit the like button if you did, hit subscribe if you haven't already done so for future video updates, and most importantly, check out the links in the description below. I'll have links to the documentaries I mentioned, I'll have links to some other additional resources, as well as the original video that she made, and some other little surprises too, so you can continue to get your learn on, and I'll see you in the next video.